I have a great one for you all today. It is a $10,000 grant. But what's even better is that not one person, not two, not three, not four, but 5 people will walk away with $10,000. 2 will walk away with $25,000. 1 will walk away with $50,000, and lastly, 1 business owner will walk away with a $100,000 grant. And if you're new to grants, let me quickly explain. Grants are debt-free funding that you can use to grow your business. And what's great about grants is that you don't have to pay the money back. And so it's better than traditional types of funding like loans and business credit, because not only do you have to pay the money back with those funding sources, but you oftentimes have to pay interest as well. But you don't have to worry about any of those problems with grants. But there is a catch. You do have to fill out and complete an amazing application. And grants can be a bit competitive. And so it's very important that you and your business be grant ready so that when you come across amazing opportunities like this $10,000 grant, you're ready for them. And now you might be a little cautious. How can something so good like grants exist? And so specifically, business grants were created to focus on small businesses that had a passion, had a story, but needed some additional money to truly get started and scale. And so when it comes to grants, most people care about 3 things: the grant amount, the deadline, as well as the application. But if you focus on that alone, you miss out on the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is what helps people actually win grants. And so I could quickly tell you those details, but I wouldn't be helping you have the best chance of success. And if you haven't heard this from me yet, I want you to win in business and life. And so to help you do that, I got to make sure you're grant ready. And so there are some steps you want to do before you apply to this grant and any other grant you come across, especially if you want to win grants that are $10,000 and above. Now, if you don't want to win big ticket grants, then don't worry about your foundation. But if you are one of the few that actually wants to win a grant, this is very important information that you need to take action on. And that first starts with my completely free business grant checklist. It'll walk you through how to structure your business in a way that looks attractive to grant sponsors. First, you want to have an LLC or a limited liability company. Secondly, you do want to have a website, especially for this grant, as almost all of the previous grant winners have some sort of website. And you also want to be bankable, which means you have a separate business checking account from your own personal account. And I personally recommend you set this up with Bluevine, as it is a great company that offers excellent banking services. And I want to quickly warn you, with this grant, there's a very easy mistake that you could do that can cause even the most perfect applicant to miss out on this grant. And so the way grants work is that you first need to find a grant that is a good fit for your business. Once you do that, then you'll need to fill out an application. The application will generally ask you a few questions about you, your business, and the impact your business will have on your community. Once you fill out that application, then you'll proceed to submit that application to the grant judges, where they'll have time to review your application as well as others to then come back and select a few winners. To be selected among the few, you really do need a strong application that clearly communicates TIPS, which stands for timeline, impact, purpose, and story. To learn more about how to truly stand out from the competition, I recommend you check out the Grant House. It is an extremely helpful business and grant community. But before you take any real action, you first need to have your mindset right. And so as a business owner, you will run into challenges, obstacles, just things that don't make sense. And so it's important that you have the internal belief in yourself before you ever even look at a grant. What you need to know about this amazing opportunity is that there's not going to be just one $10,000 grant. In fact, there will be a total of 9 winners, and the grants will range from $10,000 to $100,000. And this is real grant money that's available to eligible service-based businesses in the US and Canada. And so for this specific round, the organization is giving away a total of $250,000, which is what you want to hear, because the likelihood of you winning increases when the organization gives out more grants. And what I really like is that it is an unrestricted grant, which means you can spend the grant money on any area of your business. You can use it to hire team members who will help you scale your operations, or you can use it to pay for vehicles. And so you can add or replace service vehicles to expand your reach and take take on new jobs. In addition, you can pay for training and certification. You can also pay for equipment and tools, marketing and growth, as well as expanding to new locations. And so you have a lot of options when it comes to how you plan on spending the grant amount. And what's nice is that phase one of the grant application takes about 5 minutes for you to complete. But while you're at it, I would recommend that you answer these questions, as it'll be important for phase two. And so the clearer you get on being able to answer these questions, the closer you'll be at winning a grant. And so what the grant judges really care about when selecting the grant winners is that you are a real operator running a real business with genuine impact. And so if this sounds like you, that's great. If not, that means that there's some things that you can work on to make your business a lot more appealing to the grant judges. And I would say it's well worth it, especially for a grant like this, to make more meaningful changes and to really have the best chance of winning. It's important that we get into the minds of these judges. And so what they're really looking for is, do we have an online presence? Do we have a website, Google reviews, and social media profiles? Secondly, they want to look at our leadership style. How do you show up as an owner? What's your story? What's your vision? And how do you talk about your business? Then they want to know about your business plan. Are you able to clearly communicate your business and how it's performing? And then lastly, are you focused on community impact? Because if you're not caring about the people that actually live in the community you're serving, then grants aren't for you. But if you do care about those people, then you do have a great opportunity to grow your business through writing an excellent grant application. And so when it comes to who actually qualifies or is able to apply to this grant, they first need to be over the age of 18. They also need to be located in the US or Canada, as well as own or plan to start a service-based business. And to clarify, yes, new businesses do qualify for this grant, which means it's a wonderful opportunity to start a service-based business, especially if you're just getting started. And so a few examples of businesses that qualify for this grant are landscaping, HVAC, cleaning, plumbing, mobile detailing, and pressure washing. And so the official term for eligibility is that you do need to be a blue collar and home service business, the kind that actually operates in the field, works with their hands, and serves real customers face to face, and keeps homes and communities running. Versus if you run an online business or a traditional retail store, then you aren't eligible to apply to this grant. And so when it comes to the timeline for this grant, are the key dates you need to know. You first need to know the deadline. That is the very last day you have to apply to this grant. And traditionally, if you can, I would recommend you apply at least a week before the actual deadline. And so after the deadline, the grant judges will take about a month to review the grant applications and decide who will move on to phase two. And in phase two, you will have to submit a written portion where they will ask you more detailed questions about your business. And so if you do a good quality job with phase two, you can then move on to being one of the finalists. And so in August, they will announce the 9 grant winners publicly. And then sometime in September or October, they will invite you to a really nice business retreat. And so with this specific grant, you're not just getting the money, you're also getting a chance to network with other entrepreneurs in person. And so now that you know the important details about this grant and what they're really looking for, I'm now going to walk you through how to actually apply. You're going to first join the Jobber Home Service community. It truly takes less than a few minutes, but is the biggest factor that'll cause people to be ineligible for this grant, as it says in the lengthy terms and conditions that you must join the Jobber community before you apply to the grant. And because you follow me, you're going to do the steps in the correct order so that you have the best chance of winning. So once you join the community, then you can go to the official Jobber website and apply for the grant. And so you're going to see the button that says apply now. This is what you'll click on to take you to the grant application. I would recommend that you look at previous winners, as that will be helpful to you in knowing how to tailor and customize your application. But as a phase one, they've kept it very simple. And this is truly for them to see if you meet the eligibility criteria. So they are going to ask if you live in the US. We said yes. And then for the second question, they do ask for you to confirm that you do currently own or plan to start a blue collar or home service business. You can hit yes and move on. And then they ask, what what specific industry are you in? Is it lawn care and lawn maintenance, construction and contracting, or residential cleaning, to name a few? And then for the fourth question, they will ask for you to fill out a short response question. And so in 1,000 characters or less, you will need to tell them how your business demonstrates excellence in one or more of the following areas. And so if you struggle with writing at all, ChatGPT is a great resource, as they can act as your grant writer and your grant reviewer to make sure that you submit a quality response. And so once you fill that out, it then will ask you to submit your contact information. And so in roughly 5 to 10 minutes, you can complete phase 1 of the application. If you want my support and mentorship as you apply to this grant and all the other grants you have available to you, feel free to join the Grant House community. Let me know if you have any questions at all in the comments below, and make sure to check out the video right here on the best business checking